So look what has happened. Robert Mueller was named a special counsel to find collusion between Donald Trump and Russian agents. We now know that Robert Mueller is targeting the wrong guy. We now know the special counsel investigation is looking at the entirely wrong place. The special counsel needs to be focused on the Hillary Clinton campaign, not the Trump campaign. The special counsel needs to be focused on the figures at the DOJ and the FBI who participated in this. The special counsel needs to be trying to run down Christopher Steele and where he is and how he was actually chosen and enabled to do this. And then we need to track down the actual Russian agents that Steele spoke to prepare this phony and fake dossier, none of which has been corroborated. I didn't think this was going to be possible. You know how people were worried that there'd been so much hype about this that it might end up being a dud? That there'd been so much hype that we couldn't possibly meet the expectation. Folks, it is worse. It is worse than what I thought it was going to be. If anything, the contents of this memo were underplayed. They have not been overplayed. It is astounding. And now that I know what's in this memo, you know what's even more curious to me is that the FBI and the DOJ and the swamp didn't make a greater effort to suppress this. I've been studying CNN today. CNN is the place to go to find out how the deep state, how the establishment is going to counter this. And their only headline has been Trump allows its release in defiance of FBI and justice officials. So CNN figures the best way to battle this is to try to position Trump as somebody refusing to listen to the professionals and the great patriots at the FBI and the Department of Justice. That's all they've got. I wonder if these people, the people inside the Beltway, people in the establishment, they don't really have a connection outside. They don't really have an understanding, particularly the people who voted for Trump, but they don't have an understanding of a large swath of the American public, primarily because they don't want to. There's generally a contempt. The ruling class down. Look, and it's illustrated by Pelosi. Look at Pelosi talking about the tax. It's just crumbs. She doesn't even know that a $2,500 bonus and $1,000 is real money to a lot of people. To her, it may be crumbs. But to sit there and act the way they did during the State of the Union speech, petulant, childish, all to satisfy the lunatic fringe of their base, and then to try to blow up the burgeoning, roaring economy by saying it's peanuts and chump change. These people are not in touch with the vast majority of people in this country that make this country work. And I think that explains why a more serious effort to prevent this release was not undertaken. If these people had any idea how this is going to be seen, perceived, how this is going to register, there's no way they would have wanted this out. And I actually think that some of these people have been making a big show of not wanting it out, really have wanted this memo out because they think that it's going to look bad on Trump. They think they can make Devin Nunes look like a lunatic idiot. They are totally misreading this. And it happens to people who are in high positions of power who believe that they're untouchable, who then hold in contempt people who they think are beneath them in the food chain, so to speak. So just to review, this is more damning than I expected it to be. And I thought that since we've discussed it so much and pretty much informed you everything in it, I didn't think I could be surprised, but I have been. The Steele dossier formed the essential part of the initial FISA warrant application and 3 subsequent renewals. All of these were warrants to spy on Carter Page, not Donald Trump. But to spy on Page means to spy on where he is. If he's in Trump Tower, you surveil wherever he goes. Again, the dossier is the basis of everything, and none of it's been corroborated. None of it's real. It's bought and paid for opposition research by Hillary Clinton and her campaign. It's no difference in that garbage stuff that was put about Mitt Romney not caring about animals because he put the family dog on the top of the station wagon during family vacations. It's no different than an ad that was run claiming Romney didn't care about people because the wife of one of his employees died from cancer and Romney didn't care. It's no different than any of that sick opposition research and just, it's no different than Harry Reid standing up and saying, friends of mine have told me that Romney hadn't paid taxes in 10 years. This is no different. It's just as made up. It's just as absent fact. It's nothing but pure liberal Democrat opposition research politics that was dressed up in its presentation and in its creation as legitimate intelligence. I cannot emphasize enough that nothing in this dossier has been corroborated or confirmed, and it's not me saying so, it's James Comey. Andrew McCabe, deputy director of the FBI, recently retired, confirmed that no FISA warrant would have been sought without the dossier, meaning they didn't have anything else. They didn't load the application up with a bunch of Trump morality stuff. They didn't have anything. They had nothing on collusion with Russia. They had nothing. Zilch, zero, nada, without the lying, stinking, made-up Trump dossier. Which begs another question. What did the judge know? Well, it turns out the judge was not told. The FISA court was not told of the political origins of the dossier. The FISA court was presented the dossier as though it was legitimate, real intelligence that was compiled by hardworking American patriots trying to protect America from the efforts of the Russians to screw with us. Brilliant patriotic agents produced this, Judge. No. The court was not told of the political origins of the dossier, nor in the resulting applications for renewal. The court was not told of the political nature, origins of the dossier. Bruce Orr, OHR, official Department of Justice, met with Steele, who made up the dossier in the summer of 2016, and told DOJ that this guy's biased. This guy hates Trump. Steele told Orr that he was desperate that Donald Trump not get elected. Hillary found somebody to write this thing. Fusion GPS found somebody to write this thing that did not want Trump elected. The FISA court was not told, and the DOJ was. Bruce Orr relayed to the Department of Justice, that would mean Comey, at the time this is all happening, and Loretta Lynch, and anybody else in the Obama administration, which is knee-deep in all this, and maybe hip-deep in it now. Bruce Orr told the DOJ, which means Clapper, Brennan, Loretta Lynch, Comey, maybe Obama, that this guy's bias was obvious and real. He was desperate that Trump not get elected, was passionate about Trump not becoming president. The DOJ, upon hearing that, said, okay, that's even better. The pure, raw, partisan, political nature of this entire sordid affair has now been confirmed. It is undeniable. It was not hard-fought and hard-won intelligence. It was not the result of boots on the ground and leather on the streets digging up the truth. It was made up.